jurisdiction of which you would like to monitor. So beginning with feasibility study, ESMP, and intended documents for various standards. And that's vertical column on the left, and then horizontally you can see, the cells where you have to fill out and put status either yes or N/Y, which means not yet completed or not yet approved, or N/A, which means no action needed. So, and also the dates when that or this action was implemented. So what we need actually, each sub-project manager actually needs to have it to bring it to PIU and ask them to help fill this out. I mean, first of all, we need to do it in Ukrainian. I hope Igor could arrange quick translation, right, Igor?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so once that is done, I hope then Diana or whoever could disseminate this among, sub-project managers, so that they could start working with PIUs on filling that out. Because obviously PIU has all that information, whatever has been done, whatever has not been done, and if done, then on which date. And also we ask to collect the copies of respective documents that prove that the action was completed. For example, if there was approval of feasibility study report, then there should be some letter, probably.
Some copy of mail, maybe.
Huh?
Could be copy of mail.
Email, yes, but I mean, email could be easily, printed out, and or it could be saved as a text message, as a text file, and so we can have it electronically and printed out later if needed. Which means that what we are trying to do is, I think Benoit will support me, that we are trying to establish sort of database in which all these spreadsheets will be linked to documents, that are evidence of completion of certain actions. So
maybe we can comment the lines. The feasibility report study, it's clear, I think, for everybody. It's the document at the beginning of the project 2 or 3 years ago. That ESMP, EHS, SAP, WMP, it's all documents which are linked with this environmental and social management plan. Yeah, I mean, the impact of this new realization. If you are building a new wastewater treatment plant, what is the impact on the surroundings, on the social effect of this facility, and so on. SCP, you remember that it's stakeholder engagement plan. That's how the different parties, people around this project see the project, and how to inform them, how to take into consideration their reaction. For instance, it's clear when you are building a new big facility and you are evacuating people from a territory, you have to take care where they will live. Here, when we are building a substation, usually we have nobody living in the substation, and we have no problem with that, except in Mongolia, because in Mongolia we had a problem along the pipes, which are warm in winter. People are living in the chambers under the street. So this kind of social impact has to be, of course, analyzed. WMP, it's a waste management plan. It's always a question what to do with debris on the waste from the site. Okay, all these documents should have been completed by the former consultant with the PIU. The procurement plan should have been completed, which kind of with how many lots, which kind of contract, which kind of tender. And then all this arrive at the steering committee, SC, which has to say, okay, this project is well designed, well studied, and it is financially sound, and we are okay. You know that the steering committee is mainly governmental committee with different ministries and EIB, and they decide how to distribute the money between the cities. So they have to give an agreement that this project we take them in the list, or at the contrary, we don't accept. So it's important to know if the steering committee has approved it. Then once the steering committee has approved it, the bank has to confirm that they agree to allocate 10 million for that project, and the bank send a letter to the municipality or to the company saying that we have revised all your documents and we agree to fund your project. And all this procedure is ending with this loan funding transfer agreement. It's a document which is signed not only by the bank, by the company taking the money, but by the Ministry of Regional Development and by the Ministry of Finance. That's the most important, the Ministry of Finance, because he give a final agreement that he thinks that this company is able to refund the money, and the money disbursed by the government will be refunded by the company and the city. We have missed some steps. One step maybe we should add. It's about the municipal guarantee. The municipal council has to confirm that the city is ready to replace the company in case of the company go bankrupt or is not able to refund the loan. So it's a decision which is needed by the Ministry of Finance to say, okay, I signed this LFTA, this agreement. But maybe we can stop at the LFTA. If the LFTA is signed, that means that the guarantee has been voted by the municipal council. And so maybe this step is not so important to be in this table. And then, in fact, we are starting at that, usually at this, approximately at this level, the procurement plan, the line number three, has defined how many lots. Though we are putting here 5 lots because in Rivne they are planning 5 lots. One of the lots is the supervisor. So one lot for supervisor and other lots for pipes, vehicles, or something like that. Julian, what do you mean by TER?
No, that's tender evaluation report. Meaning, so first of all, you need to have tender document ready. So you launch the tender, and when you collected the offers, then you evaluate them and produce tender evaluation report. This is a standard document, which also includes a contract award recommendation. So the report actually concludes with recommending who should get the contract. Okay.
Here, maybe it's for me, it's a line we are responsible for.
Yeah, that's our responsibility, exactly.
So every line should be not yet, because we will start with the launching of the tenders.
Yeah.
So the important for us is the tender documents ready or not? And here we have some misunderstanding or difficulty to understand the situation, because some cities are saying it's complicated, other cities are saying help us to do it, and PMSU is mostly saying no, don't do it, let the former consultant working in this. So the main point for us now is to have the 6 first line well understood, and maybe the name of the tender and the tender documents 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you have information, it's important, of course, if it's finished or not. For instance, in Mariupol lighting, we can say that it's not finished. They are still developing. But so we cannot have a date. We can say maybe we should have more flexible table, not yes or not, but in progress, started in progress and finished. I don't know. But let's start by that. So during the coming period, could you, each of you, for your city, could you fill these 6 first lines, either by looking at the documents, because in some documents you have the date of the LFTA. For instance, in the, it seems it's Krivegerik, we have a date on 29th of November of last year. The LFTA was signed, so we can put it. We have not the copy, so we don't know exactly what they signed, but nevertheless, we have information that it's. So I explain. Have you some comments, some questions?
First, Benoit, if I may comment as well. So, in principle, as I understood, we need to first review quickly all documents we received already from each PRU, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then we should ask if this particular document is approved or commented by PMSU and etc. Because we received, for example, Word file or PDF file, and we don't know if this file was reviewed by PMSU or approved or from EAB. Am I right? Yes, and we need to confirm for each point.
Yes,
here.
in fact, I missed one point, that we have described the lines, but not the columns. And for the columns, you see that we have 4 different type of organizations. First is the PIU, which is clear for you. It's in each company, you have a group of persons in charge of developing the documents. Then you have the PMSU. Now we know who are they. Then you have the Ministry of Finance, which has not is appearing only on the line 6 LFTA. We should here have by the way, no or yes, because the ministry is signing this document, so we have to check, have to correct that. Do you agree with me, Julian?
Yeah. I mean, there's some mistake there.
And then we have EIB. And we put in each case commented or approved or draft or approved. In fact, as we are coming late, I mean, feasibility study has been done already some times ago. Here, commented or not commented is not so important. Important is approved. If it's not approved, then we can say that they comment 3 months ago, and the PIU is still modifying the feasibility study. But in fact, in some case, you can just say no, not valid. It's not relevant to have this information, or this information is not known. That's all. We don't need to have a very complete table. We need to know what is already completed, and if it's not completed, what are the the deadlines for completion, for instance. Then MinFin, so it's only one case where we should see they are deciding something. And then EIB. In EIB, we have not yet well understood in which stage they are giving comments and approval. We are sure that the allocation letter means that they approved. It's line 5. On the line 5, they received the feasibility studies, the ESPM, SMP, the procurement plan, as they agree. So if we have the allocation letter, that means that all the other steps are already taken, and we don't need to have very precise information if the allocation letter is already signed. It means that the bank is satisfied, the 10 millions will be available. If not, if the allocation letter cannot be received, that means that some of the documents are not complying with the request of the bank, so we have to analyze why. Is it the procurement plan? Is it the ESMP not completed, and so on?
And maybe we should add also one column for who is in charge on which part, or it will be done later. I mean, for TR, our assumptions at least, Agis will be responsible, and for LFTA allocation letter, PAU, and for tender documents, ongoing consultant or previous consultant.
Consultant is only to help the PAU. PAU is responsible for everything. So, I mean, we know that. Okay.
It's not so clear as I understood who is in charge of what, because some PAU are waiting for consultants to do everything. Yeah, but I agree with you, Rian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's eventually PAU's responsibility.
I would like to be sure that everybody is understanding what we are speaking about, because maybe it's a bit specific and new for most of you. So maybe each one could tell a word about that. For instance, Lennart, for you, it's some remarks on that.
Sorry, I have to unmute the microphone. Well, it seems quite clear to me, and the only comment I have is that I haven't seen any documents at all yet from the PIU.
But have they installed you this what they call virtual network or whatever? I mean, they installed that on my computer, and because that's everything on the server in Agis. And then,
okay, I saw a link in one of the emails lately here, which is pointing at the minutes of meeting, but I tried it and it doesn't happen, and it cannot be used.
Okay, it's another point of our agenda, so we can check quickly who have access. But I guess only Lennart doesn't have, because we couldn't reach you, Lennart, last week, and we connected everybody, and with our IT guy, with VPN and remote access to our server where all documents are stored.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we
will
check.
That's a point to be checked then.
Yeah.
But
and so Yula, for instance, now have you some comments on that?
For me, question
yes.
for me.
Yes. But if you want to speak Russian,
I everything have understood, but I have some question, and I understand that this table will be correct. That is why maybe if I have several questions, I will speak with you.
Okay, so with me or with
with
Julian.
Julian.
Contact me. Yeah,
Or with Julian, yes.
Yes.
That's right, yes. Yeah.
And you, Evgeny?
So, if I know, we must have this table for every project, and
Yes,
one table
so
for
yours too?
and one table for every project, for see anything for all cases in our systems. So, and I agree with you that the column is being filled, and the EIP is not useful in this table because just one or two times it came to you can see to это совпадет со строкой, то есть это какие-то только отдельные элементы. Ну, общую картину, конечно, будет
Only separate
хорошо видно.
cells will be matched with MinFin and EAB, but for EAB, they should approve everything in principle, as I understand. Yes, Benoit?
Yes, yes.
Let's keep EAB. They should approve everything. It's a final organization for approval. Последняя инстанция для
Well, we can think about that, yes, but I would leave it as it is, even if they are intervening only in one line.
Yes, only for one line.
Yes, yes, right, right. We'll think if there is another way to do it. If you have ideas, just suggest. And Alexandra, with this, well, so the first is to look in the documents. The second is to phone to the PA and to ask them, really, have you received a final decision on the final document? Because in many cases, they are still developing, changing, modifying, and so it's not easy. And what about Roman? Roman, can you give your remarks?
Okay, hello. We have to follow the table pattern, more information and what have done already and what has to be done soon. But we have two projects in Mariupol, and first project for Clone Water. I haven't more information.
Okay, well,
there are almost no information. There are only have feasibility study made by the Donetsk Institute of Water.
Yes, but let me comment quickly. Under UMIP, we have only one project where Enviroplan Energy is working and finalizing feasibility study and tender document done till the end of this year, as they commented. So
yeah, while we're on that subject, have they approved they promised to approve the procurement plan on 20th of November. Have they done that? Anybody knows?
No, we should contact PAU. I don't have this information.
Yeah, because remember after that meeting in Mariupol, which I didn't attend, but I got information that the city was going to approve the procurement plan on November 20, because there's nothing is completed for Mariupol. There is nothing is final. Even procurement plan is not final. And so I was wondering if they managed to decide what the procurement plan will be.
What with these water networks, right?
Yeah. I mean, whether they want to include water pipelines into the procurement or not.
They
Test
could
them.
decide where to put this component for water networks. And yesterday we had a common call, and Mr. Izumov, the head of PIU, confirmed that it will be our task in our phase 2, UNIP phase 2, let's say. But it was only like verbal confirmation, not written. So we need to check it. Yeah.
So you say that they will include it into our task, the pipeline.
PMSU asked Mariupol PIU for what you decided on water network component. And, PIU said that it will be in our task.
Not phase 2, but
yeah, not
this time. Okay, so we have to wait something in writing from PMSU, I suppose, right?
So it connected to procurement plan, and we should check whether it's signed or not, and we should check with PIU, yeah, and ask.
I mean, PMSU has to decide here, I guess. What Bernard, what do you think about that?
In fact, PMSU and EIB have to
And
decide,
EIB,
and PIU can propose, can recommend, can try to influence the PMSU, convince, but if EIB say no, we cannot do it. And this last 10 days, we receive already a mail saying, no, you have not to start with the tender documents. You have to wait to the other consultant to finish.
Yeah, in this case, it will be bigger because feasibility study will have to be redone, you know. It's gonna be even bigger. Bigger.
So it's during the next week we have to find a common understanding with PIU and PMSU and EIB. And Evgeny, for the public lighting, it seems that there are no consultants for drafting the tenders. So here we have another situation. We cannot say we have to wait for the former consultant to finish because they did by themselves. So they didn't receive any support. I am not sure because it's in some document it's mentioned that it is to be done by the PIU. In the other document, in a meeting, I remember that Mr. Pacholko said that they receive money for that, and if they are not able to do it, we will not pay once more, something like that. And the last participant, I'm not sure. Evgeny, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm here.
So in the Lozovan, it seems to me that the table is almost completed. We have to find the date, but they said that they are ready. So we should have a lot of cells already full.
Very interesting. And where is the table we have?
We have to do it by ourselves, but we have already some information that they have most of the steps. I will be in Ukraine next week if I can travel, and I would like to start with this table because it should be the most ready. And so we will see with you, Evgeny, next week. So now we have spent already a lot of time about this point of the agenda. Of course, it's very important, but nevertheless, we have other points. So let's go back to the third point is the minutes of meetings. Every of us have received a copy of the minutes concerning their own project.
Yes, we just before the meeting, so you probably need more time to review it, and we also sent changes that PMSU made by themselves without our approval and even asking. So it shows their attitude to us, and they want to show us that they are. Let's say
the boss.
Yeah, the boss. And but these changes, yeah, also for us, we need to analyze these changes. So please, I also stored it in the database, and you have it. So please review it today. And if you have comments, we can discuss it in your emails, calls. So yeah.
Okay, so we will not comment too long. I have seen exactly that they removed, for instance, in Mariupol wastewater projects, that it was mentioned that we as a new consultant has to prepare the tender documents for these networks, water networks, and they removed that. So it means that they have their own views, which we cannot really now completely know, but nevertheless, it's a way to understand their point. So please analyze for each of your projects the minutes and the changes they made, and you will understand what they really think. The other point is, should we react eager about that, saying that we don't agree that they are modifying the minutes we are preparing, or not? Should we be flexible, or should we say we are in charge of that and don't replace that, don't replace us? We are important, and maybe we will discuss with Arnaud next week.
Yes, it should be discussed with Arnaud first. Then we are not in charge of it. PMSU is in charge of it, so we don't have rights to comment like this in rude way, let's say. Because as they explained, we prepare drafts and they change, modify, and finalize it under their template. So it's difficult story, but the reality.
One small comment. Maybe Julian, first you wanted to say something.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that we should object if they try to change minutes in a way that they do not reflect what really happened in the meeting. You know, if they try to impose some talking points that were not discussed, then we should object, I think. But otherwise, you know, if the minutes, you know, are correct, then what can we object? You know, it should just be realistic reflection of what happened in the meeting.
Yeah, yes, we will look at that in this way. My point is that additionally to the minutes, we received some guidelines for writing the minutes. As you understood, UMIP and PMSU is a large machinery. They are managing now 22 local projects. So we have 9 of them, but really 6 working. And they have procedures as any bureaucracy. They want their procedures to be respected. And so they ask to use one template, which is the template you received. They ask not to put names, for instance, and only organization. We should not say Mr. Bilokach said that. We should say the TASP consultant said that. We should not use some abbreviation, or we should use a standard abbreviation. I will send you all this guide. I understand that they would appreciate that we respect that, and I think it's not a big deal to try to go to fit in their views. One important thing that they don't want to have the exact words which were pronounced. They want to have more focused minutes on decisions. Not to say Mr. the FB said that, but the document will be prepared until next time by the FB, for instance. So it should be short minutes, I understand. It's not so easy sometimes to understand which decision have been taken, but it's a way to. We have to be careful when we are in meetings to understand if the things are not really clear, to ask what do we do now and who is in charge. and when it should be done.
And it's also our role, as I understand, to push everybody to take out deadlines and decisions from them, because PMSU and FB, they don't like to stick to the deadlines, as we understood earlier during meetings in Dina, Lutsk, and everything. So we need to ask clear questions: when this document will be done, who should be in charge, and etc. Just to try to put as much information as we can in minutes with decisions.
Okay, so for this point is okay. Any remarks, any comments? So next point is for me mostly a review of political situation in cities. I think most of you know the situation, the political situation in the cities you are working with. I have heard that the second tour of the election was last week. Is it right?
Yeah.
For everywhere.
Manifest.
And so in some cities it was already decided before. I think Kryvyi Rih, Mariupol, and Lozova, it was stable. And what about Rivne, Lutsk? Where? Ah, okay. Ah, they postponed to 6th December. Well, it could impact our work, because if the PIU is changed after some months, you know.
Yeah, especially in Kryvyi Rih, where the city council is final beneficiary, but not municipal enterprise.
Yes,
and, the head of PIU is deputy mayor.
It's important to know that. Okay. And except in Lutsk and Rivne, what is the situation?
Well, I can say about Rivne that there was a guy from this European Solidarity Party who won, which means that they are progressive. So hopefully they will support the project. But you know, Rivne water canal is not the city water; it's Oblast water canal. So
yes.
But there is one possibility that city might become beneficiary, because the Oblast water canal has debts, you know, and outstanding debts which they cannot clear with Minfin. So they might actually agree with the city that city will become a beneficiary. But nobody knows what's going to happen yet. But I'll be talking to PIU later, see what is going on and where they stand with that.
And if I may add, Ulyan, the governor is from Sluha Narodu, current president of Ukraine, Zelensky, and mayor is from European Solidarity, the former president Poroshenko. So it may also
so easy, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, could be some conflicts, of course, but but you know, the mayor is, you know, is stronger because he's elected, so he can always, you know, rely on support of population, on popular support, whereas the governor is appointed by president, so nobody cares very much about him. There is also Oblast Council there, and that was also won by European Solidarity, I think. Yes, so it's
yes, complicated. And what is Lutsk?
Lutsk, Yulia, did you pay attention to Lutsk?
I heard that they they have chose final choice, but I don't know.
But not a new mayor or not?
I can comment because they didn't have a mayor before.
They didn't have mayor, yes.
So,
yes.
but they chose the one who was in charge in principle like исполняющий обязанности.
Okay.
Yeah, acting mayor.
Active.
Yeah.
So okay, so no changes. So
But he belongs to oligarchs party, I believe. He belongs to what is за майбутнє for future, right?
Probably Ukrop.
Anyway, I mean it's
Marvel.
oligarch, but that might be our benefit because oligarch might always, you know, they have lots of money, they might help.
but they don't give money. Okay, thank you for this small review. About the platform, so Igor, can you explain the setup of this database for all documents we are setting up?
Yes, sure. I've tried to be quick. So first of all, can everybody confirm or not confirm that he or she has access? Then we will set up for Lennart and for others. So can you comment, and then I share screen and explain.
I got mine.
Okay.
I also have access to the folder of this project.
And yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Roman, okay. So you understood that this allow you to see what is happening. It's official documents, let's say, not draft, but documents which are in the final phase. And we, up to now, we give the access to read and download, but we prefer not to leave you in charge of loading on the server to avoid some mistakes. So Diana will be in charge of loading new documents in the server. So transfer documents you want to have. Igor and I will take initiative too. When we receive a new final document, we will put it in. If you want all the document to be on the server, just ask. Maybe it's something important. Of course, we will accept. But I don't want to have a lot of version of the same document, for instance, for the same on the server.
Okay, but now can you please stop sharing screen, so I will share mine and go quickly to the server and show how it works.
How to do it? Stop share. But what is it?